All right. I need to find what side that is. Yeah, fuck, how do I turn on the light? Gas tank. What in the world is this design? How am I supposed to get a tool into that? What is this? What kind of sick joke is that? What am I supposed to do about this? Oh, it was bent during shipping. Okay. So I need to bend this back somehow. I understand. Okay. I don't have Leslie Hernandez says hi. Hello, Leslie Hernandez. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll try to do whatever. So right now, this bracket bent when the gas tank was being shipped, so I gotta bend it back with 0 tools. Actually, I'm a big, strong man, so I could do it by hand. So that's pretty cool. So back under the car we go. Nice oil leak right there. Love it. All right. So I need to put this bracket back on somehow. How did this go? Like this? Let's go with that. Let's go with that. There we go. Nice, terrible, shaky footage. I have to work one-handed. That's all right. There we go. The hole aligns. Gas tank. This is the last bolt I need. So threads. Nice brand new William bolt. All right, so now I hope this is the right size. I got no space down here. This sucks. I can't record. This is a terrible thing to watch, but whatever. Okay, so gas tank in place. 2 hoses we need to connect up there through. I think we're ready to torque the gas tank into place. So I gotta slide back from underneath the car. I need to go grab the tool. 12. Torque wrench is already set to 27. At least that's what I think it was. It's probably wrong, but it doesn't matter because something's gonna break anyways. I need to find a 12 and then an extension for this guy. I might have a 12 over here. 10, 12. Well, it says there's 11 people watching this garbage, which is surprising. If anybody has questions, let me know. Right now, the gas tank that was installed, we're gonna torque that down to 27 foot-pounds. Held on by 4 bolts. I just joined. What are you working on? All right. Let me give an overview real quick. It's an MR2 Spider, and I'm working in a disorganized, tiny little shitty garage. It's K-swapped, and all it does is let me drive it for about 10 minutes before something else breaks. And last time I discovered the fuel tank. The fuel tank was leaking, so I had to remove it. And now the gas tank is in place, and now I'm torquing it back down. So that's what we're working on. And I can't really film anything, so I tried this live stream thing, and there's like 2 people that enjoyed it yesterday. So I'm continuing today. So it's a lot of terrible angles and me just breathing heavy into the camera, which is great for some people. So I kind of have to record myself and work at the same time. So we're torquing down bolt number 1 for the gas tank. Like this is the space I have. That's the ground, that's the car. So I can't really film too much down here. So you just get a bunch of shaky garbage. Because this is what it's like when you don't have a 6-bay garage with a lift like everybody else on the internet does. Don't listen to those lies. You'll get it, man. It takes a little time. Man, it's more than a little. I've been at this thing for years and it just seems to hate me. So I think I'm the problem. Oops. I'm pretty sure everything I work on, I objectively make worse. I've come to that understanding. All right, there we go. It's getting tighter. Now let's listen for it. Oh, you son of a bitch. There it is. That's 1 out of 4 torqued. I'm working on a EK with a K24A swap. So I had, like 3 years ago, maybe more, I had a stock EK that I stupidly sold, and it's the one that got away from me. But nice. I hope that goes well for you. My word of advice is, I'm sorry, this camera angle's terrible, but my word of advice is keep the motor stock, put it in the car stock, and then work on another motor outside of the car. I'm gonna need a longer extension because what I did here is I built the motor and swapped the car at the same time. So you kind of are fighting 2 battles. You're fighting problems with the car and then problems on the motor. And then, you drive it for 10 seconds and a new thing breaks. And then you become jaded and annoyed. Then you end up where I'm at. I need another extension. Like this guy. With the map wiring harness, did you use the factory O2 sensor or did you wire in your own wideband? Wired in my own wideband. So one of the projects I'd like to do, if I ever get to the point where I can actually do some fine tuning rather than just keep removing the motor, wideband sits in here. I want to 3D print a nice little holder for it, because usually I have to keep this thing up, and then I want it when it closes to go away, because there's no big reason to monitor it all the time. So yep, it's an AM wideband. There it is right there, actually. Pretty simple to do. You can follow any tutorial for any Civic because it's a Honda. This is it right here. No luxury life here. It's only reality. See, I got mold and garbage everywhere. Because I'm a garbage person. All right, back under the car. Another cool thing while we're right here. Look at that oil leak. Pretty sweet. So I get to be covered in oil as I work on it. So bolt number 2 of the gas tank up here. I'm sorry, this is probably the worst thing to watch. We're gonna torque that to 27 foot-pounds. I just gotta find out how I'm gonna do it one-handed. my God, this is so garbage. Why anyone would tune into this or watch it, or why I would even live stream it, I don't know. There we go. There we go. Now we're making progress. I don't know if you guys can see that. Oh yeah, you can see it. Except I can't hold the tool in the camera. I'd watch anytime, man. Oh, well, thanks. I'm clearly not good at this. Yeah, just hit me with any questions you can think of, because that's how you're going to get the most value out of it, because God knows I'm not an entertaining personality. Trained astronaut, have you ever watched anything from this channel before? Because I can give kind of the history of this car. It's got a bit of a story. My arm is so tired. No, I haven't. Okay. Unfortunately. Actually, it's fortunate for you. Best mod for the car after swapping. Example, brake, suspension, etc. Okay, I'll answer that too. Let me get this bad boy up to torque. Come on. I can't do this one-handed. Yes, I can. I can do it. There it is. That's that click we want. All right, let's take a break from this. Let me slide. Okay, no, you haven't watched any videos, unfortunately. Well, it could be fortunate for you because they're pretty shitty. We are working on a 2003 MR2 Spider. I started with a 2001. That was a silver one. It had a 2ZZ in it, which is a common swap for these cars. It's another Toyota motor in it. And I had always wanted to build a motor, so I removed it to build it. I took it apart and realized there's scoring on the cylinder wall of that first motor. Those motors have a special cylinder wall called an MMC metal matrix composite. Because it's an aluminum block, that's just what they did to strengthen it. And you can't hone them, and they can't be bored out or anything. You can only sleeve them. So I bought another 2ZZ from a junkyard. I took that apart. When I took it to the machine shop, the cylinder walls were tapered. So I had two junk motors, so I was in pretty deep. So then I started reading about people case swapping this car, so I decided to do that. Why not dig the hole deeper? Because I'm a masochist. So the bottom end is a K24A4 off a Honda Element I got from some dude's backyard on Craigslist. Top end is a K20A2 from an RSX Type S. Bottom end is built. It's bored out to, it's been a while now, 74.5 millimeters. So that brings it to 2.5 liters. It's also 12.5 to 1 compression. Top end is still stock other than a Skunk 2 Pro Street intake manifold. The rest is stock because I figured that's accessible so I could do that at a later time. But that's back when I thought, you know, I'd have a running car and be able to use it. And I was dumb enough to think, hey, maybe I want more power one day. So that's kind of so that was in a silver one. That one was all ripped apart. That chassis by the previous owner. So like all the hardware wasn't original. It vibrated and rattled. It was beat up and none of the panels fit right. And then I happened upon this 2003 that was actually sitting in a garage for 12 years because the motor had blown in it and the owner just left it there. So I spent time restoring it. I took apart the interior, detailed it. There was like mold in here and everything. And I actually took apart the front and rear suspensions and subframes, powder coated everything, made it all nice. I mean, it's dirty now because, you know, I did drive it a little bit, but there's no rust back here. The chassis still has a bit of surface rust like you saw on those bolts, but all done myself, all restored that way. New bushings, new hardware, all that. Now it's just, you know, something new breaks on the car all the time. Like it was a shifter cable. It was an alternator bolt that broke. And now I had a gas leak for a while, which I thought was coming from right here where it houses the pump and the filter and all that. I thought it was coming from up here. Turned out to be the gas tank itself, so I kind of ripped it out. And that's where we're at now. I ordered a new gas tank. It arrived and I realized I couldn't film anything under here because the space is so tight, so I decided to kind of do this thing. So that's where we're at. Best mod for the car after swapping, brake, suspension, etc. I mean, if you're adding power, you definitely want to add, they always say like you want more brakes, but I don't know if it's just me or what. Like, I don't know where people have this opportunity. I mean, I haven't done track driving because one, it's not very prominent in the area I live, two, because this thing just hasn't ran long enough. But I don't know where people are driving and how they're driving to like have the need for all these performance brakes all the time. Like I've never come close to feeling any sort of brake fade street driving this thing. So logically, yeah, you want brakes because it's safety and all that, but honestly, I would do the swap and just spend time finding out what annoys you and address that. Like, does something rattle? Does it vibrate? Does it idle weird? Does it start like shit? And then address that before you mod anything else. Then when you actually have a refined experience, then you can kind of think like, okay, brakes will be my next best value, you know, if you're chasing a track time, or just like get a little more aggressive pad. Is the exhaust too loud? Go get a custom exhaust, have someone, you know, weld in a resonator or design a Helmholtz resonator for yourself. Things like that. That's how I would go about it. I would like, every mod on the car, I would make sure is that as refined as it can be at 100%. I have Willwood 4-pot in the EK. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure those are great brakes. I'm still on stock brakes on this thing. I'd love to upgrade it, but this thing doesn't drive enough to warrant new brakes, but these are all still stock. But they're free. I mean, yeah, then of course you want to install them if they're free. But that's just my 2 cents. I mean, what do I know? I'm struggling with this thing, so whatever I did, do the opposite. Okay, crawling back underneath. We got, oops. We got this bolt torqued. We got the one over there, so we're gonna go across. Get this one done. Let's see if it'll go in by hand at all. So normally I would have nice bolts like this, like I had already restored that. Normally I'd get some nice OEM ones to replace these, but this whole gas tank thing was pretty spontaneous and I'm just trying to get it done. I'd love to have this thing running again before winter. Because I'm a peasant and I rent and I get to move vehicles around in the winter. 27 foot-pounds. One-handed. Honestly, this right here, these are AC lines for an AC that I'm just lying to myself that I'm going to install in this again. Which is actually a good thing to note about the Mitch's Auto Parts kit. If you do Mitch's Auto Parts AC adapter, it does not work on a K24 block. It ends up running into the pulley and the AC doesn't fit, which is why I got rid of the compressor. And I've been hanging on to all the, I have the compressor and I have these lines that I've been hanging on to. I'm lying to myself that I'm gonna install AC in this thing again. There we go, 3 out of 4, torqued. One more to go. So we torqued, we did the one back there. I know that light is blinding you guys, I'm sorry. Last one is right there. So, I'm sorry, this is terrible. There's no angle for you guys to watch and I'm just moaning into the camera. I'm breathing heavy, which might be exactly what you guys want. I'm sorry. There we go, we got the tool on there. Last bolt. I don't want to jinx myself, but I haven't broken a bolt yet, which is unlike me. My arm is so tired. There we go. Oh yeah, she's torqued. There it is, we got a gas tank in place. Okay, let me leave from under here. Oh man. Gas tank in place. All right. So now we got 2 fuel lines to connect, which I'm gonna do in a second. So in my haste, when I took it out, this is the fuel filler line. I threw that out. No one has a similar size local to me, so that was a little oopsie. So I'm gonna have to source something, so we're not gonna get that done today. But the next step, which I'll do in a second, I just gotta take a breather here. So this is, if you're contemplating getting a mid-engine car, get used to this view. These 2 fuel lines need to go into these hard lines, which I'll do in a second. This spring clip belongs to the smaller one. I'm also gonna get some silicone spray. Yeah, if you wanna bleed the clutch, that's where it is right there. That's the clutch cylinder. That's what a mid-engine car gets you. All right, so we are gonna need small little pliers, which I had down here. If you're working on a rusty garbage car and you're underneath it, very important. Pliers for the spring clamps, which are over there. And I anticipate it's gonna suck to put on. So we're gonna use some silicone lubricant. I went with the K28-2 in my 01 Spider, just motor in and lines hooked up. I've been waiting 3 weeks on a CSS sensor for the trans, but your videos have been very big help. CSS sensor. I don't know what that is. Something speed sensor? Computer science sensor? Something speed sensor. Well, you should be able to start it up without a speed sensor. Should I block that? Well, nice, congrats. Another thing I did, when I did K24s, I got rid of those balancing shafts on the K24, which is supposed to help with vibration, but they spin around in oil, so it robs you of power, allegedly. I should have just kept them in. I should have just, whatever made this ride as close to stock as possible. Fighting all the vibration and noise has just been a war. I'm getting a drink real quick, so ask questions before I crawl back under there. I'd love to address all that. Oh yeah, shop tour. This is where all the magic happens. I have a built motor and other EK, but I like watching. I mean, I feel like every Honda guy just can build these things in their sleep, and they have K20s and build K24s all over the place. It's never just one. My friend had a EK sedan coupe that was K-swapped, and that thing was a riot. The person that had it before just didn't really do things quite right, so it had like a hood vented exhaust. And then he sold it because it was running lean and it needed to be retuned, which he told the people that bought it. But then as they were leaving, he heard them just sitting there revving it and doing burnouts and everything, and then he blew the motor like half an hour after buying the car. So that's a fun little story, I guess. How bad is the vibrations really though? Okay, so what motor mounts do you have? If you have the Mitch's Auto Parts swap kit that uses the stock passenger one, and I think it uses the stock, or yeah, it uses the stock driver one too. If you have that one, it's not quite that bad. The innovative ones were terrible because those were like solid, that had high durometer, but that's just what was available at the time. It's really not too bad right now. I should stop drinking while I'm answering questions. Drinking seltzer water. Right now, the battle I have is, I think there's a couple things. So I have this PPE kit, right? Is that what it's called? Yeah, PPE. And it just fits like dog shit. Like you can tell right here, that left muffler is sticking out more than the right. And it's always been like that. And if you look at the flanges, like that doesn't line up quite right. The other side of the mid pipe, which I can't really show you right now, but that one doesn't line up quite right. And I think I'm fighting little exhaust leaks there. But also, my theory is just the drone of it. Since, you know, the motor's right behind you, I think this firewall kind of acts as like a bongo drum with the frequency that the motor's like sound is at and it's vibrating at. So I think I'm gonna get some Dynamat or whatever people like these days for insulation. And I'm just gonna stick little pieces to stop that vibration. And I think that's gonna make a really big difference. That's cool. I know it's on this Spider. There's a company guy called Mitch's Auto Parts. And yeah, they use the stock mounts. They're able to like make these custom pieces. I don't remember if that's a regular. No, that's not a regular. I used to have the CRV mount that everybody uses for swaps. These two are custom, and then this that goes on the transmission is custom. And you can actually use the OEM, Toyota OEM mounts. Likewise down there, and then there's one more at the firewall. Keep questions coming. I really don't want to crawl under the car again. I should probably disconnect my battery so it doesn't die. All right, I guess I'm crawling under there. What harness do I run? It's just a custom harness from that same company. There's the harness, so they just did the wiring and all that themselves. Saves a bunch of time. Goes into a Honda ECU. And then there's also a little unit that some geniuses somewhere designed way back in the day that has the Toyota system. Like the gauge cluster and all that, whatever the body harness uses. It converts that to what the Honda likes. So that's very nice. So actually the gauge cluster and all that works as intended, OEM and everything. All right, so these two lines come out of the gas tank. We're gonna start the big one, get that on the hard thing. So I'm gonna spray a little bit of that. Yeah, it is. It's pretty plug and play. There's one small wiring thing. There's, I think, 3 wiring changes you have to do. The terminal for the charge harness. There's also a signal wire. Honda ECUs. Oh God, I don't remember. It's like they like having a constant 5-volt signal or something like that, but Toyota does not. So you have to like splice a connection so it gets the voltage that it wants for a certain signal. It's one cut and splice. It's pretty easy to do. So all the credit to the people who figured that out to make this swap worthwhile. I can't really get a can up there, so good luck me. I'm just gonna spray this and get it all over my phone and face. Oh man, that's right. I need a spring clamp for this. I don't have a clamp for this because the other one rusted off. Oh wait, I was right the first time. Again, I would love to replace this because it's rusty, but I don't have one, and everything I do is a hack job, so that's where we're at. Now I need to, like, look where my hand needs to fit. I need to break my arm in 6 different places to be able to grab the hose. I also need to keep the camera somewhat reasonable. Okay, so problem. The hose doesn't reach as is. I thought I had enough on it. And I'm pulling it and more isn't coming out. If I have to unbolt this gas tank, I'm gonna be really upset with myself. I need that much more. Story of my life. But I'm pulling and it just won't. Oh, there we go. We got something. How great is our God? So that, what's really cool is when you're under the car and you're taking it out, you get a nice golden shower of gasoline. So that goes on there. Oh, look. There's a nice crack in the hose right there. We're going to pretend we didn't see that. We're going to continue on. The crack is... I'm trying to see if the crack is after the hard line or not. Right there. I know the phone can't see it. Let me see if I can get you guys closer. Right there. See, those are the 2 threads coming out. But what can I do? I'm this far. We're gonna ignore it is what we're gonna do. Put the clamp on and we never saw that. It'll be our little secret. All right, I can't do this one-handed right now. I'm still gonna try. I'm just trying to get that little hose clamp in place. Maybe I'll do an MR2 for my wife. She likes them. Well, you got a cool wife. Well, I feel like these spiders can be had for pretty cheap. I feel like they're bottom dollar right now because they are kind of ugly cars, but they are underrated. The early generations were prone to an oil problem. Actually, it wasn't even an oil problem. I believe it was a problem with, they had pre-cats that would get clogged and that would mess up with the oil rings on the piston, which then led to an oiling problem. But point being, the motors blow on them and people just sell them for dirt cheap. How? Come on. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to put this down. I need 2 hands to do this real quick. I can't get the stupid clamp on the hose. And the thing is I need to not get mad at it. Because it knows when you get mad. So new strategy. I may have to go look for a few of them. They're cheap on the East Coast. Yeah, I mean, like I said, the blown motor ones. Then you get some people that, I mean, it's like everything else. For every cheap one, there's also a dude that's asking 16 grand for a 20-year-old car that has 100,000 miles on it. It's just a lot of old owners, and that generation seems to want to hang on to their wealth more, and they'll fight for every dollar. But this is the new strategy. We're going to try to get this clamp further up, which again, I might need two hands, which I'm sorry. I have to put it down. Fuck you, come on, just go. I might just put a ring clamp on it, call it a day. Spring clamp is not cutting. I'm sorry, this sucks for the stream, I know. But I need two hands to do this, and I still can't do it. This just sucks, but that's what happens when you work on a mid-engine car. All right, we got somewhere. Do you use MR2 trans? Nope, RSX Type S transmission. Part of the swap kit. The only part that sucks is you need custom axles. People make them, but they are custom. All right, so we got our hose on. I just got to get this clamp a little further back. It's really pissing me off. Yeah, the only thing you should know about this swap is just the shifting kind of feels like shit. Third gear in particular. Third gear, just look at any like driving impression of a K-swapped MR2 Spider, and the person always comments on third gear. It just, something about the way the shifter cables lay out, and all that, just, it never feels good. People are getting more creative with their solutions. I'm kind of working off of, 3-4 year old information, but I know people are taking like hybrid racing, whole shifter mechanisms and fitting them into the cockpit of an MR2. And that seems to be improving it a lot. I just want to get this clamp on a little bit more. Hey, there we go. I did it. Now, we need to get this little guy on. What cable you use? That same company, MAP, Mitch's Auto Parts. They make a custom kit. So it's the stock shifting mechanism that's like up near the driver's seat. It is a stock MR2 shifter cables, and he has a custom one that he provides with it. And then the shifter mechanism is just bolt on right onto the transmission. I know people are trying to use the Honda shift cables and all that too, which apparently improves it. Again, I'm kind of outdated. I got outdated information. I know people on Spider Chat are constantly trying new things. We're so close. I'm switching hands here. Just trying to get the spring clamp into place. There we go. We got our two lines connected. If they stay connected and don't leak, that's a whole different question. But hopes and prayers. All right, so gas tank torqued in place, those two lines connected. Now we start connecting up all the stuff we disconnected to let that gas tank come out. So I have all these hard lines hanging out. I believe this one's coolant that I need to put back into place. So I'll start here, which is the driver's side coolant line, which again, mid-engine, so these lines run all the way to the front where the radiator is and have to come back to the motor, which sucks. But it is what it is. Okay, so sorry, I'm not working with much space. That's what's between me and the motor. So I need to remember what I did over here. I don't remember if I undid a bracket over here or not. It doesn't really look like it. So it looks like the first thing I undid was over here. It really feels like I unbolted something over here though. But I guess I'll find out. This is so hard to film. This is terrible. So we'll start here. So line runs from the front of the car, follow it, clip it into this, which should be easy enough. Oh, I did miss something right there. Goes into that plastic clip. There we go. Looks like you're on East Coast 2. Yep, New England. What gave it away? All the rust to this. Hard mounted to the body. How smart this time. Oh, Jesus Christ. And kept the bolt in the chassis. Again, I would normally replace all this, but this is about being all go. So we don't care. You're Ohio? Oh, I'm sorry, man. That sucks. I need to align this hole somehow. Actually, while the bolt's out, I'll do myself the favor and grab the tool so I don't have to slide back out. And find what socket I need. Which feels like it's a 10. It sure is. I usually get my cars from down south. I mean, you have to. Well, I'm lying to you. I've never done it. But I've always made sure everything I had was rust-free or came from the south. I've never gone down there to get it. I did fly once to Philadelphia to get a car from there that was imported. That was on my bucket list, but I flew with cash and drove back in a brand new car. Well, not brand new, but new to me. I can't, it says I have 10 people watching this. I don't know how I have 10 people watching this garbage. Look at that. That's just beautiful. All right, now we will take the rusty bracket with the rusty bolt hole and to reintroduce the rusty bolt that holds it all together. And hope it doesn't break in the process. Of course, it's the wrong way. There we go. Not even cross-threaded. Good for me. This I don't have a torque spec for. I'm just going till it feels snug. It's not really critical. There we go. That's sitting in there. That's tight. We move our way forward. We got, what do we have? So the line has to go up here. And it looks like it bolts here. I'm usually pretty good about remembering where everything is when I took it off, but I was so pissed off when I did this that I don't remember anything. So I kind of have to put it together like a puzzle. So to me, it looks like this tab, this rusty tab goes to this rusty bolt. I know for a fact this goes down here. See, that's one of the parts that I refinished. That's why it's actually nice. What did I bend it up and out of the way? Like some sort of idiot? There it is, solve the puzzle. Now we do our best to not cross-thread it. There we go. We are actually making progress. I think Vegas has the odds live on what's going to break next on this car if anybody wants to play some bets. I need an electric ratchet so bad. All right. That's connected. Oh, my arm's tired. But fuel filler line that I don't have. That looks like it's pretty straightforward. It just goes up and around. Actually, I don't know if that's true. I could have sworn it tucked away back here. Either way, that goes there. And this side's actually looking pretty good. I need a brake again. All right. Oh, that sucks. So driver's side almost done. Got a couple hard lines to clean up on that side. And then we have the fuel pump and everything that needs to go in. Where is that? If I threw that out too, oh my God, I may have thrown that out. I have the cover for it. Am I allowed to say the R word on stream? Because I am a big R. Oh my God, I think I threw that out. I think I need to order it. I definitely threw it out because I had it in the bed of my truck because I didn't want the whole place stinking of fuel. And then I ordered a gas tank. I threw out the old gas tank without realizing that the fuel pump and everything was in it. I am so upset with myself. Oh no. This isn't exactly riveting content, but I am very upset right now. Because if it's not here, so I think that's all I'm gonna do right now, and I'm gonna hop online and see how much those cost me. Probably an arm and a leg. That's so upsetting. Sometimes I'm so stupid, it physically hurts me. There's no other way to explain it. Yeah. Well, it says there's 4 people watching. Do any of those 4 people have any questions before I end the stream and go smash my head into a wall? Here's the old intake manifold. RBC, Honda intake manifold. Here's a CRV mount. Okay, I take it that nobody has any questions because I need to, well, before I forget, I'll grab it over there. Got to set the torque wrench back to 0. So before I end the stream, does anybody have any questions? Because I am very upset right now. Apparently more people hopped on. Have a good one. Well, I kind of ruined that for myself. I don't think I'm going to have a good night. I'm just going to be mad at myself for the next couple weeks, depending how much that costs. What happened? Well, I installed a new gas tank, and that's where the fuel pump and filter and all that goes. And I threw away my fuel pump and filter, so I am a big old idiot. That's what happened. It just occurred to me that it was still attached to my old gas tank when I got rid of it. Because it is not in my 2 spots where I'm holding parts for this. I'm finishing this water that I'm getting out of here. And I'm gonna go think about what I've done. Rock Auto shouldn't cost too much. You know, I've had a couple people recommend Rock Auto to me. Is that the spot? Are they good? Or do they do like, you know, really cheap Chinese made things that'll go bad in a couple miles? Because I hate doing something twice. But I can't get it from the dealership because the dealership's going to charge me an arm and a leg. So is Rock Auto the spot? Rock carries OEM in Chinese. Okay, does it tell you what brand it is? I'll have to check out the website. So I appreciate the recommendation. Because I know the dealership is just going to bend me over with the price. Or contact Premium Recycled Parts. Premium Recycled Parts, is that? They must be online. I'll have to check them out. eBay's kind of been my go-to lately for OEM parts. You put in the OEM part number and you'll find resellers. That's how I got the gas tank. Cool. I appreciate the Rock Auto recommendation because I'm going to have to do some shopping. So, shopping list. I need the whole, oh my God, the cover and everything. The housing, the filter, everything. I'm so goddamn stupid. And I also need the fuel filler to gas tank connection, which is that guy right there where that hole is in the gas tank. Connects up to that hard line. I'm so upset with myself. It really does hurt to be this dumb. All right, well, if there's no more questions, I can answer. PRP is a group that works with salvage yards across the country. I just started at recycling. We're independent but network, PRP. Premium recycled parts. Okay, I gotta remember that. Premium recycled parts. I can do that. I can remember that. Thank you. I appreciate the recommendation. Any other questions before I cry myself to sleep? Always a solution. Yeah, there is always a solution. All right, I'm out of here. For anybody that was watching, thanks for watching. Bye.